Sushant, Sareen, how does Pakistan's mess impact India? Earlier, India and Pakistan were hyphenated in the Indian narrative, and internationally now India has moved on. India competing and comparing or seeking to compare with China and not really bother as much about Pakistan. But if the country continues to blow up in terms of inflation in the way that things are, and things get much worse as seems likely, what does that mean for India in your view?
Rahul, it means very little for us in the short and the medium term at least. And in the long term, we don't know how it's going to play out. If Pakistan, the economy continues to tank in Pakistan, the country is not going to disappear. It's not going to cease to exist. There will be tremendous problems. It will weaken Pakistan tremendously, which is excellent for us. It's excellent for us because a weak Pakistan is less of a nuisance and a headache for us. And perhaps also less of an international migraine, to use Madeleine Albright's words. That's one part of it. The second part of it is, have you seen any lowering of the unremitting hostility, hatred towards Hindus and Indians by Pakistan? So why are we jumping the gun and trying to, you know, this Mother India concept that we have, that no, we must save Pakistan from itself. We can't save it, number one. I don't think we have the capacity, nor should we. And we should not, because the worst thing in the world to do is to, you know, pull out an enemy when he is drowning. I think the best thing to do is sit on the riverside with popcorn in your hand and let your enemy suffer the consequences of their own actions. Nothing which is happening in Pakistan is anybody else's doing. It is their own doing. It is their own elite capture. It is the own rapacious bureaucracy and military which they have. It is their own overweening ambitions and adventurism which has led them to this pass. They were the ones who wanted to break the shackles of slavery in Afghanistan. They are going to pay the wages for it. Why should we bother about it?
Okay.
And let's not kid ourselves by thinking that no, you know, the Taliban will come into India. Let the Pakistanis handle it. And their nukes are not just India's problem. They are the world's problem. So let the world come in on that and handle it. Let's focus on our energies, on our own development and our own progress.
Okay, Sushant, Sareen taking a position on the extreme right. Sit back on the riverside, watch your enemy drown, have popcorn and whatever else it is that Sushant wants to have late in the evening. Then you've got the others who will say, no, this is an Indian neighbor. This has been part of an earlier concept of Akhand Bharat. We can't see Pakistan drown. Just on the basis of humanity and compassion, we must help. Ajay Veer Jakar, you heard what Sushant, Sareen says, essentially that this mess is frankly of Pakistan's own making. A lot of the adventurism, excessive spending on military, capture by the elites happened because of the doings of Pakistan's own establishment. Why should we now try and help them?
So, I'm sitting in my village now in Punjab on the border with Pakistan, and I'm really terrified of a bankrupt state in my neighborhood of Pakistan. And I agree with Sushant when he says that it's a mess of their own making. But I disagree with him when he says about a economically shattered Pakistan, because we have witnessed state-sponsored terrorism in the past. But let me tell you, terrorism stemming from non-state actors in a country which is bankrupt, where people are hungry, is a breeding ground for jihadi terrorism, and it's going to be far, far worse. We've not witnessed it. You look at the Horn of Africa, and you look at other places in Africa, you will understand that non-state actors are far worse than state actors when they sponsor terrorism. And I have a personal interest. I'm from Punjab. We are on the border. We want better relations with Pakistan. We want an economically prosperous Pakistan because Punjab is a landlocked state. We want trade with Pakistan because Punjab has suffered a lot because of state-sponsored terrorism stemming from across the border. But our markets which could make Punjab prosper are Central Asia and Afghanistan. Let me tell you, Rahul, Kabul is closer to Amritsar than Lucknow is. Central Asia is closer to Punjab and Amritsar and Ludhiana and where my village is than we are, in fact, half the distance of what we are to South India. So we really must hope for a...
So that's very interesting. We've heard two extreme
let me tell
positions.
You one more thing. See, when Nawaz Sharif campaigned for prime ministership, I think so in 2013, he publicly said in his public meetings, we want better relations with India. And I doubt if any other prime minister in Pakistan will ever have the guts to say that. And his brother is prime minister now, so we've got to look at everything. But I think at the end of the day, the government has a better long-term view of what should happen. I don't know if I don't personally think we even have the financial wherewithal to help Pakistan, not default. Let's put it that way. And China should be allowed to do it, I think. Let them spend their money.